Hello and welcome to Web Design Technology. My name is Dr. Friedman and I will be your instructor for this course. Um, my passion is about open source and I'll talk more about that um, in this presentation, and we will see what does it entail to host or to have a website that actually connects to other elements such as database and not have static website that you have already learned how to do. So we will learn about the technology, we will learn about the programming aspect of it, and I hope you will enjoy that. One of the things that is really important is that in this class, if you go over and you're going to read the syllabus, we have a textbook, PHP Programming with SQL. It is a good book. It's expensive, but I think it will keep you busy for a while. The book about JavaScript is an open source book that you can actually go to it and read all about the script and how to apply that. And we're going to also learn about PHP. And again, this is an open source platform, documentation. Some of my students in the past complained that this is a very heavily textbook online, so that's why I'm using PHP programming that probably will communicate better, and it is available in the library. And MySQL will be that database, and this is again a source on MySQL and how to apply that and what is it entail. Those are the sources that we will use in addition to all. Hold on a second, it's my mistake. Also about, there's a lot of resources on the web regarding this course, and I also highlight that. And one of the things that is highly recommended you will visit is W3, and I will talk about what is W3 stands for in my presentation. So textbook in this class will consist of one paid textbook. I do apologize, but you have a copy of it in the library. The three other sources is basically open source application that you will be able to read that through your computer. One of the things that is really important is that in the end, what you will learn from this class. So I'm going to show you, the last time I taught this class is 2.5 years ago. Most of the students already graduate, but one of the students that actually did well and now she is working as a web programmer is created this website. I want you to see that. I want you to see what does it entail. This is JavaScript, and I'll talk about what is JavaScript means and how to apply that. And this is what she did and how she applied that, and she created a farmers market website. And I think this is important because one of the things that I would like to see in your project, and this is up to you, is the ability to involve the community with the technology in order for them to have better access. So this is example of the work. How you're going to grade. This is, I know, the central piece of my lecture that most people pay attention to. So first of all, you're going to have a blog that you're going to report what you have learned and what is the effect on your understanding of web technology. You're going to do that every week. Then there are going to be assignments. We have 6 weeks, so every week will be assignment, and you're going to post it on your website and on your blog what you have achieved and what you have not achieved. That will give me the ability to monitor your work in order for me to help you to overcome the difficulties that you might run into. Then there will be one simple database project in the class. It will be worth 5%. And then the final project, and if you will be able to create something like that, that will be great. And I'm sure that help you to find a job, like this student that created this website. So again, this is how we are going to run this. We are going to have a short semester, and this is summer, and I know that some of you are already thinking about, wait, will that stop me to go to the beach? I hope not, but again, let me know how can I help you to create that. In this class, I recommend 2 software applications to do the code. The first one is Adobe Dreamweaver. Adobe Dreamweaver is accessible to you through apps.usf.edu. It is Adobe extension to the web. It is easy to use, and if you are in the style design element, that's something that is interest to you, it allowed you to create layout, grid, and everything else in order for you to do that, and also show you the code. If you are into the code, there is another text editor that is really good called TextWinger, and it is really strong because it allowed us to test it and see the code in real time in order for us to enjoy that. So those are the 2 options. But we need to talk also about the history of the web. And I will do that in short terms, because the next subject I will talk about is the web technology, the web website, and what does it entail. So let's start with the history a little bit. 1990 was Tim Berners who created the World Wide Web. He created it in Switzerland, Geneva, and the idea was that instead of posting it on your server or your machine, he came up with the idea that we can post it on the web and everyone will have access to it. So the idea of hypertext was the fundamental idea of Tim Berners, how we are going to generate this technology. As a result of his idea came the idea of HTML, which is Hypertext Markup Language. And the idea here is that it's really simple, that the HTML allowed us to display everything on the web browser. So whatever you do on the web browser is basically an idea of that can be displayed in HTML, a simple HTML. And I hope you know HTML a little bit because of the courses that talk about the introduction to web technology, but it's really simple that we have tags. Everything is in brackets, and it consists of open and close the brackets in order for us to have this idea. So the closing tag is always important. You have to remember how to close the tag, because sometimes, again, this is the difference between the 2 applications that I'm recommending. Dreamweaver does not support the programming aspect. So if you open the tag and you do not close it, he will not show it. He will just display error and you will not know it. In compared to more advanced editor, where you will see the code, but you will be able to see what is the mistake you make and be able to fix it. So again, it's up to you what you like to do and how to do that. I leave it up to you. I will not comment, I will not give you marks if you use Adobe, because it's about the design and it is important to you. So I respect that and I appreciate that you are putting more efforts in the design in compared to the people that into code. I really appreciate that you will spend more time on the code, make sure that the code is correct, and it will help you in the long run, because the web server is not a fixer. He will not find mistakes in your code. So you need to do that in your computer, in your files, before you upload it into the web. So syntax of HTML, again, I'm sure that you'll be able to go over that in your own time to see what does it entail, how to see the HTML code and what does it entail. And one of the things that is the HTML allowed us to do is to show us, or to embedded communication protocol. What is a protocol? Is usually HTTP, a protocol that allowed us to have a connection to another document somewhere on the web. And each URL consists of two types, the protocol and the domain name that allowed us to reach out to this specific website or file. And so the idea here is that we are managing the hypertext links by using the protocol with an address in order for us to reach it. And when, for example, you store your files in Dropbox or in the Google Drive, it has a domain name and it has a protocol address in order for you to reach out to it and have access to it. So the IP address consists of series of 4 groups of numbers separated by numbers, and the idea here is, again, protocol, domain name, directory, and file name. We will talk about directory a lot throughout the semester. Why? Because when you are creating a website, directory is part of your things that you will need to know and work with, because the directory is where you keep all the files that you want to apply, and by using those directories, make the access to your website more accessible and more transparent to users, whoever they are. And so this is really important, and this is where you're going to learn techniques how to do that. The first HTML standard was established in 1993. Today we are talking about HTML5 that has extension to database or in meta tags, which is called XHTML. But the thing is, the HTML is now allowed us to use the web browser, and this is the beauty of the HTML. So one of the things that Tim Burns established very soon is to have an international standard organization for the web. It called it W3, and it is becoming a standard. They're establishing a protocol. They're establishing procedure that we need to follow in order for us to be successful in our development. Otherwise, without that, everyone will do whatever they think and there will be no consistency. So Tim Burns' group, the consortium, established this standard, and we as the developers need to follow up on that. We also need to talk about how we structure the web. Before the web, there was the idea of backend, which consists of 2-tier system. You have a client and you have a server. And I don't know about you, I'm a little bit older, but in the past, when I used to work in a company, they used to have a server. Everyone had to keep all the documents on the server, and I send a request to the server. He would come back to me with the document or the file or the code that I was asking for. But the idea was that the idea of the web developed another element, the programming element of web technology. In compared to this client's server structure, there was no need for web technology. And so the idea of XML, HTML, JavaScript, and PHP and database came with the idea that we need more advanced technologies or programming languages in order for us to create something more aesthetic pleasing than writing just noting to a file or creating more access to more people to see our files. So JavaScript is a client side scripting language, and this is one of the most popular languages on the web. It is based on the idea that it is work on the client. It does not work on the server. So you embedded the script into the HTML. It goes together with the HTML, and as a result, you are able to create a script that is something that is really nice. As I show you in the product, again, this is a JavaScript. This is what they do. They allowed us to bring out elements and text into it to make it more interesting or more appealing. And so you will learn about JavaScript that allowed us to create more dynamic pages, create more visual effects such as animation, as I showed you, and control the web browser as a window by itself. As a result of this JavaScript development, there was the idea of 3 tiers. The idea that the web has to have more accessibility or more access to it. So it consists of client tier, processing tier, and data storage tier. Example, that is not true anymore to Amazon or the Google or anything else. It's a little bit more complex, but to make this idea of structure of the web in a simple terms, I use the 3 tiers. And the idea is that you have a server that sits on a farm on the web, and you have access to it that is connect to the database. And when you're asking the process or the web server to communicate, it will connect to the database in order for you to update or get updates on this, what the data storage you store has the idea of it. I hope it makes sense. I hope I made it clear, but I hope that you understand. This is why we are going to cover in this class the PHP. It is idea of the writing to the server side, not the client side, in order for us to communicate with the database. So the idea of PHP is the idea of a server side. The website that you're going to create will be based on HTML and JavaScript, but the foundation of that will be on the PHP. So you're going to embed the PHP as your server-side scripting language in order for you to have more interactive web site. So the PHP is open source like the JavaScript. It allowed us to have more extensions that we are accustomed to do with Microsoft programming language, and it allowed us to execute to other platforms and other ideas how to observe different data types in order for us to have process to databases, something that again Microsoft programming language does not allow us to do. So the idea here is that the server-side programming script is really key to component that we need to do. Even if you are a designer, you need to have understanding of the website server, in order for you to have better sense what does it entail in order to you to communicate with a database. The last issue is the database, and this is where we are going to talk about MySQL. And again, MySQL, in compared to SQL, is open source, which means that you don't have to create your own script or to pay money to use a software application to use SQL. MySQL is free, and you will learn it into the website, and it is very similar to SQL, but again, it is a really big supporter of PHP, and it is a lot of companies are using it. Example, LinkedIn use MySQL. Amazon does not use MySQL because they created their own server and their own platform, but this is part of where we are with regard to technology. Technology always involves develop, and MySQL is the open source platform, and I want you to become familiar with that. This is important for you to do that. Your homework assignment, you're going to create a website that you're going to update all the time. But in addition to the website, you're going to have a blog that you're going to report what you done well and what did you do not do well, in order for me to follow up on you. Because this is an online class, I want you to have some communication and be able to help you to become better web technology specialist. Okay, so the website, you need to register that, and you need to register and make sure that you register to this website only. Why this website? Because it offers all the components that I'm going to teach you: MySQL, PHP, and we are going to learn how to embed that into our class. So you're going to register. I hope that you're going to keep track of all the emails that they're going to send you. They're going to send you your password, where you're going to go to the control panel, what is the MySQL username, what is MySQL host name, what is the FTP, and how to use the FTP, and your website. In this case, this is my website that I created for the class. Oops, it doesn't show up. Hold on, go back for a second. Sorry. I probably changed my website. This is the website that I created. Maybe I did not clean the cache, and that's a problem that you're going to face. When you do not clean the cache, he will remember what the last visit, and he will put from your cache and not from their live. So this is the website that I created. I'm going to change it every week. So you make sure that your cache is clear in order for me to see the updates. One of the things that the panel provide you is change password and do email accounts and everything else. But we will learn again the PHP MyAdmin, MySQL database, and we are going to play a lot, which means with the files, with the file system. So how the structure of the website works: you're going to have htdocs, which is the directory of your website. And this is where you're going to upload your index2, the first file in this case called index2. You don't see it because this website is based on PHP, but we declare it as index2.html. And you're going to create, in every model that we are going to see, you're going to create a new directory. So the name of directory is module number 3. Oh, sorry, not module number 3. And you're going to create those modules in order for you to have all the components on all the assignments that I'm going to give you in order for you to succeed in the class, which is really important. So you're going to learn how to structure the data, how to organize it in order for you to apply that. And again, I want you to play it. It will take some time. It's not tick and you'll be done. I want you to spend some time on it. This is an important class. As I told you, some of the graduates that I had the last time, 2 years ago, got a job in web technology or web development. So this is something that you can do in addition to that. One of my students is taking this course, what he learned from the course, and in his spare time, he build website to his neighbors for money. So again, this is up to you how you're going to apply that, what you have learned in this class, in order for you to enjoy or to make more money. So this is it from this time. I hope you will enjoy it. I hope you will be able to go over that and learn about JavaScript, PHP and what does it entail. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me or come visit me at my office. I hope you enjoyed this first introduction, and until next time, I will see you around. Bye.